Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Rail Survival. We have the rail, and we are surviving, but are we thriving? That's what I hope to remedy today. And I'll go ahead and come off that banger intro by calling out it was a banger intro and thus ruining it. Yeah, we have... Oh. Thank you, Thumper, for thumping.
Inbound.
Oh boy. It's chaotic start, but we have our rail. It's going off to the nickel mine. We need more rail, much more rail. We also need, well, we still need to at some point find like gold and silver. I think I have silver. Yeah. I need to go out and find gold in the world. So, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff to do. But I think the thing I'm going to focus on today sort of involves that guy. So if we ride our funicular up to the solar observation platform, we have our solar panel array, which is doing a pretty solid job, I think. It's now supplemented by, well, that wind turbine, these wind turbines. Not the turbines at the nickel mine yet, because I don't actually have the track connected to that structure. I don't know if I will. I probably should, but it's not that way now, so that'll have to wait. Point being, this thing's up here, and its primary purpose is to get us power, but it also gets us our food. Food that actually... Oh, good. I have some on me. Food that works, but the food we have is kind of bad. It does not give very much fill, so I have to eat a lot of it. And given the sort of time delay between when you can eat a pack of food, it's really kind of a hassle, and it means my food is always kind of at the edge of, well, not being full. I guess so not being full that it's almost empty most of the time. Which isn't ideal. I think what I want to do today is take a little break from the rail, from welding it and all that, and build a greenhouse that I can use to actually grow food, grow plants and things. And I may, because it needs to be near ice. Well, it needs to have ice. It doesn't have to be near ice, because all this is connected. But I may stick it right over there in that flat area. Just because that's sort of the shape the base has taken. I feel like using that area versus over here makes more sense. And what I may do, maybe off of this post, I'll just run straight out and build a structure. Because that will make it much easier to pipe as well. Let's go ahead. Get that going. Okay. So we've got a little pipeline going here. Probably need to flip myself to get this in. So, can I get rid of this bush? Nope. Great. I almost want to go out that way more. Both avoid the bush and have better height. I should be able to do that. So if we want to run our pipe off this way, We'll make this our wall. I don't know. So for the greenhouse, you don't, I mean, you don't need it to be a greenhouse with windows, but it always feels nice. You do need it to be pressurized, and I don't remember if the actual, like, planter beds do that. So we'll go ahead and have one of these in the wall. And then our physical wall will kind of run along here. So I think what I'll do is have 2 rows of 2. So 2 rows of 2. Caps up the end. Yeah. So that's 4 rows by 6 columns. Probably good. Okay. That's a pretty good base. I think I'll get that welded up. I have a little bit more room at this end, which will be explained actually. Okay, I don't know if this will be necessary or not, but we'll start that pipe over there. Now we get everything welded. All right. Now to get our farm plots placed. This is going to take a lot of glass to cover. But I think... how best to do this? I think I'll build first a... So, I want to be able to harvest these things automatically. Or automatically-ish. Because you can't automatically plant. And I'm thinking... Actually, I'm thinking that I did this wrong, because to do what I was... Yeah. I think to do what I was envisioning isn't going to work. With the farm. Well, I don't know. Okay. We're going to... Let's real quick run over... I'm going to load up a simulation real quick to test if something works. And hopefully it does, because if it does, I don't have to rebuild all the stuff I just built. Okay, so we're back here in blinding sunland. I forgot just how bad the Skybox was. Well, I have this thing, which is just the bogey off of the, welding train.
Fuel critical.
My plan, which will fail because I need to make track that I deleted. So my general plan is to use a system similar to the train to do the harvesting. I'll leave that there, but just ignore that for the moment. The issue is, because I put these sort of two, side by side, the harvester, which uses a collector on the small grid to collect stuff, it needs to be able to get both of these. If I can get 2 plots by having the harvester kind of in the middle, I can use this and make it work. If not, I need to rip up the greenhouse I built in real life and, well, redo it so it's just a single row. So I am going to have to wait for these guys to grow, which is a bummer. I'm pretty sure mushrooms grow the quickest. So while that's going...
Fuel critical.
Let's go ahead and get a collector on here. Now, unfortunately, this is a pretty bulky way to go about this. I kind of wish it were a little thinner, but I think using the same rail and bogey mechanism is going to be my best bet. I can simplify the bogey a bit. I can probably get rid of the outer wheels. Actually, I don't know about that. I'm almost tempted to... Yeah, I don't think it would be stable. It wouldn't be stable with just 2 wheels. And the outer wheels are kind of handy for going around corners, which my intent is to have this go around corners. I may shrink it a bit. I think I can make that work. But we shall see. I do also, just while we're at it, I want to make sure that the connector will work. So let's just lop this guy off. So, height-wise shouldn't be an issue. I can always fix that. Will I get lucky? No.
Fuel critical.
Oh yeah, that's way too far off. Dang. While I'm here waiting, I do want to see if I can fit it. That's maybe a little close. I'm curious if I can fit a thingy in there. 'Cause that's pretty much as low as it could go. I don't think this is gonna work. Oh? No, it kind of just fits. Okay.
Fuel critical.
I don't like the look of it, but it's cool to know that there's enough room to make something that fits in 1 block gap. Well, that's looking promising. Yep. Both sets of mushrooms are grown. Okay, let's see what happens now. So I moved the collector back up to the sort of position that I think is probably the most, well, the position I hope works. I can always maneuver it. Will it collect? Okay, it harvested 1.
Fuel critical.
That's the one it's more over.
Energy low.
I should actually be able to test. If I push it 1 over, we'll see if it can get... No. I think if it's not getting this one, it probably won't get the other one. That's a bummer. I could, I suppose. Let's real quick. If I place that guy, it harvests, can I... Yes, collected fruits can go through small connections. I guess here it doesn't really matter, but that'll be handy for piping. Well, for outputting. Okay. I think what I may do then is just dangle awkwardly one of these guys out. And then try and build my, my actual track vehicle a little better. Okay. I think I've learned enough of what I need to do to make what I need to happen. Okay. Now we just go build it. And I think... Well, let's start laying stuff out and we'll see if we can make something work here. So that's our track. My plan is to make use of the sort of minimum curve, which is gonna have to be that guy, I think. Yeah, so with that sort of loop, I should be able to build a vehicle that can go along and dangle 2 collectors over each sort of row. Really, for the amount of effort I'm going into with this automation, I should probably make it much bigger than I am. But I've not done that, so here we are. Now, I did run piping over here. I think what I'm going to try and do... I need that block free. Okay. So run pipes over to here in the center. Then, yeah. We'll have a small connector there. If I do this right, hopefully I can have it small enough to just sit here. And this will be the spot the thing waits. And then it kind of goes around. If not, I may make the connector right here. That's actually probably smarter. Yeah, because then I can... This whole end doesn't need to be as complex. Never mind, ignore what I said. I can still use this piping to have the water thingy that I'm gonna need. Okay. That looks like a pretty solid chassis. So now we get our collectors, which means I need bits. And I should, given I'm not trying to hit both things, I can actually align these pretty much dead on. I think I need to be down 1. So that's those guys in position. And then we'll figure out piping. Okay, let's lop this thing off and see what we're working with. Balance isn't great. We should be able to fix that. So I think my overall plan for this is going to be to have it set up and automated such that it just kind of, you know, when I launch it, it will go, do a loop, and then circle back, which will be inverted from what I just did. Just to test it, let's go ahead and... I think my best bet's going to be the old antenna and remote trick. Ah. God. It's a very scary noise. Can never quite remember what to do about them. Eh. It would be a little trickier. I mean, it would need a lot more stuff. It would be cool if we could, you know, like, I don't know if domesticate bugs is quite right, but if there was some way to effectively automate meat. There are mods, I believe, that let you have like bio meat and stuff, though, so you can still make stuff with meat even if you, well, don't have bugs to deal with. So that's pretty cool. I should probably be watching these things to make sure they don't... Oh, God. Okay. We're looking good, but that could have easily been in position to take out rail. It's a very thin chance, but it could happen. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Oh, except for there. And nuts. Okay. A little too tight around that corner. Let's see if we can solve that by dropping the strength on those side wheels. Okay. I think this corner may be a little too tight. Which is a bit of a bummer. I thought I'd done this with these and they sort of worked. I do have... It'll take more room. I do have another solution here. So that was admittedly a fairly tight corner, but we have these 2x1s in the slope as well. And it's gonna still be too tight. Nuts. Okay. Plan B. So my issue here, I can do this into the corner, but then I would still need... I'd still need that, and actually, to make it work, I would need that. Then I'd need these again coming out into the straight. And that's way too wide to make sense. So I think instead of that, let's see if we can't redesign the old car. So let's inch it along. So my issue is, at this point, that is trying to push hard that way. This side, specifically this wheel, is hitting here. And that's what's causing our hang up. Okay, this is a crazy idea, and I'm probably going to regret doing this. How stable is this gonna be? Ooh. Okay, that angle's not great. The wiggle. And it's still... Oh, in fact, it's now even more hung up than it was. There we go. That is, to give context to what I'm doing there, I just used the hold X suspension compression to sort of jiggle it free, which is terrifying for anyone who's played this game for a long time and knows what that used to be like. That's not what I need. Also my side to side could be a little tighter, though I don't think that'll help here. I wonder if what I need to do is actually make these upper ones, pull them out a bit and use the shorter suspension-y guys. Oh. Okay, that didn't work like I hoped it would. Gonna just real quick hopefully fix things. Okay, all these go. Oh, right, yes, those will go too high. Well, I guess I can replace where the battery was. Okay. Well, it worked right up until it didn't. So I should be able to get this on stilts and then change out the wheels. My hope is that changing out the wheels will give me a little more clearance inside, which will give me just enough room to sneak around this corner. It doesn't have to be elegant, so long as it mostly works. Yeah. That should give me just enough room to catch the lip. And then I can use my side wheels to hug things down. Okay. That was a little janky, but... Oh. That was a little janky because when the wheels came off... Let's see if the pistons will... I had to move them because I was over the edge at the other end, but... Hopefully it all kind of shakes itself out. Yeah, that looks alright. Let's see what happens if we try and move. It's not horrible. Do need to knock the power down to probably just 5%? Maybe not. Okay. Yeah, it's not doing great. It's doing something. Let's see if it can... Let's see what happens on a corner. I don't have a ton of faith here, but... Yeah, because it seems to... keeps getting stuck. I think the issue is the wheels are... They're just not making quite enough contact with things. Which gives me a wacky other new idea. So my issue was that these outer wheels are hitting. With them a little bit, well, a lot bit shorter, these inner ones could be normal wheels. And if these inner ones are normal, I should then be able to shuffle the sides over such that everything just kind of aligns. Because I can have these push a little further, these push a little less, move these wheels a little more on the track, which will then push these off a bit. Now, these get a little misaligned, but they're close enough they'll work, and the whole thing's asymmetrical, so it's not like, you know, it's not like the looks are going to be weird. So, all of these guys, power to 5. Strength to 100. Height offset's good. Friction's good. Side wheels. I want to rename a bit. Copy those settings over to here. And then this guy. The inner wheel. Change it up. Okay. Now we see what's going on. And I think no. Okay. 0.26 is the maximum they can go. Which only... Let's see what this does. If we're lucky, this all just works. Okay, not looking as lucky. Yeah. Well, this is unfortunate. I don't think this is going to do what I want it to do. I have one more idea. It's going to be a little bit more of a hassle, I think. But if we're lucky, it will just kind of work. Positioning's now a little weird, side to side as well. But what I've got here is my sort of hold in place wheel in the middle on this inner side. Because I think what was happening here was that the wheel over here was not wanting to bump into this. We'll see if this works and is stable. I may... Considering this thing is relatively self-contained, I may be able to get away with doing this same thing at both sides. We'll see. If I don't need to, maybe I won't worry about it. That would be convenient. So, moving along, and nuts. We are still getting caught, and I think at this point it's because I can't position those in enough. Let's try. I don't know if this works. No, I don't think I can. Darn bugs. Yeah. Okay, I need some more ammo. At the very least, I have a bunch of meat now. So this guy, yeah, I can't adjust its position. But I could. Very carefully try and piston myself over. I have a feeling that this, if I can just get the a little bit more pressure on the rail to kind of position things better, this will all just start to work. Though that didn't. Let's see if we can scoot it on the piston heads instead of the wheels. Ooh. Will this be... Haha! Okay. I just had to make these guys go way out. So get rid of that. Let's bring these guys back in. Ooh. Okay. That's further than I think we've gotten. Part of the issue here is that this guy is trying to move. That shouldn't happen. Ooh. No. I think I've just gotten it horribly, horribly stuck. Well, okay. My brilliant scheme is looking less and less brilliant. And unfortunately, I am pretty much out of time for today. I would have liked to get this done. I really thought it would just go smooth, but, you know, sometimes life doesn't do that. So, yeah. I'll come up with a plan. Maybe I just make one long, straight farm with one of these things. Or maybe I duplicate and have, like, each row has its own little train guy that goes and harvests. I don't know. I'll come up with something. But for now, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out the other stuff I've done, and until next week, bye-bye.